Filmmaker Mike Bennett and Brayden Olson openly discuss their journey together, forming a deeply moving portrait of Brayden's path to finding his father. The following conversation is an audio journal of their experiences. We hope you enjoy.
Okay, so we can begin.
I have an idea.
Okay, please tell me.
Why don't you just insert a clip from the phone call where it makes sense?
Okay, yeah. So
we might be referencing phone calls now and then so that what we're talking about makes sense.
Yeah. I loved how you just snapped into like producer mode.
This is the first time I've done this without drinking.
Same with me, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's it feel to not be under the influence?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I actually started taking medication last week.
Oh, that's why. I was wondering why you were drinking less.
No, that's not why. I just don't feel like I need to drink as much.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty weird. You can try it. It's like anxiety medication, but it like really works.
Huh. That's interesting.
But now I think I'm addicted to it.
Oh, that's not good.
Well, it's you know, I don't know. But I don't like feel like I need to drink as much. Usually I'm just waiting for it to be like 3 or 4 o'clock so I can start to feel normal. But now I just wake up and pop a chill pill. I'm good to go.
Wow, it's
pretty great.
I don't know. We'll talk about this another time, okay? I was trying to sleep the other night and I couldn't. And
well, it's also for insomnia.
Oh, so I was with my girlfriend and we were going to bed and I was like, you wouldn't have a sleeping pill, dude? And she was like, oh yeah, I think I've got something. And she just gave me a pill. I didn't even think what it was or whatever. Within half an hour, my throat started closing up.
Oh, you told me about this.
Dude, it was crazy.
Well, she's kind of a pill popper.
My head, I look like an elephant. My whole head was swollen. She'd given me an antidepressant that was expired from 2014 that she thought it was going to relax me, and it definitely did the opposite. So anyway.
Yeah, you got to be careful. I only take pills that are prescribed by my doctor.
Yeah. That's like Doctor Who.
It's crazy. I went online and they just FaceTime you and you explain to them how you're feeling and then they prescribe you something and you can pick it up the next day. It's pretty insane. Yeah. Without insurance, it's like $80. Anyways, okay.
I grew up in a country that they don't do that, so.
All right. So anyway,
we're up to episode...
People really don't care about all.
I don't care, actually. We're up to episode 4. We traveled back to Seattle. The reason we went back to Seattle was originally we were going to see your mom again. And
you kept telling me, make sure your mom's going to be there. Make sure she's going to be there. And I said, Mikey, don't worry. My mom doesn't go anywhere. She's going to be there. And then at the airport, I called her to make sure she was going to be there. And guess what?
Oh, shit. I'm actually heading to Florida on Tuesday to meet the kids at Disney World.
Oh, fuck. Really?
She's going to Disneyland.
Yeah. She was
at the height of a pandemic.
Yeah. She went, Disney World.
Disney World.
Yeah,
even worse in Florida.
Yeah.
And so we find out she's not going to be there.
Yeah.
And so I guess I had to go back for work, so you ended up staying longer.
I stayed longer
with my mom.
Yeah, until she returned.
Which, to be honest, might have been better.
Yeah. We decided to still go on the trip, even though...
Because we were already at the airport.
Yeah. And we were also Brayden's cousin, who's about 10 years older than him, who's also met Brayden's father once before when he was about 9 years old. And he's also kind of like your unofficial brother, really.
He's my brother.
Yeah. So we ended up going to Seattle, meeting with him, and we went on a crazy camping trip together.
Really
you guys
cool.
Did some bonding. He showed us some crazy spots.
Mushrooms.
Did a lot of mushrooms.
Some fights.
Went to a concert at the Gorge. It was a crazy trip. So I guess we'll recap from the start. And you picked me up from my apartment in New York. We drove to the TWA hotel at JFK Airport, which to our listeners, if you haven't stayed at the TWA hotel, it feels like you're being transported to the 1962.
Pretty cool. If you have like an early flight the next day, you can go a day early and
stay at the airport. It has a beautiful restaurant. It has a rooftop pool that's heated, so we kind of like had some drinks at nighttime
just to prepare for the trip.
Yeah.
Basically.
It was really cool, actually. It was a good way to start the trip. And then we woke up early and hopped on the plane and. Mm-hmm. We got upgraded
for free.
Yeah, because I think because we take such early flights from New York to Seattle, there's no one on them.
Yeah, it was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
it was like a lay down beds.
Yeah, Honestly, it's like
you're not even flying.
Yeah. So yeah, we flew to Seattle.
I mean, for the price of the dinner we bought the night before, we probably could have paid to upgrade, but that's nor here nor there.
Yeah.
Oh God, I have so many bills.
So yeah, we got to Seattle, and then we met up with your cousin, Travis.
We took an Uber to the wrong address.
Yeah, we fucked that up.
Anyways, we finally got
to his apartment. We went out to dinner. We went across the road to the only cowboy saloon in the whole of Seattle, and there was an actual cowboy doing line dancing in there he was really fat, but he was such a good dancer.
That guy, I have some footage.
Yeah, he looked incredible. Then we did karaoke. That was kind of fun, and did some bonding.
Met up with my friend Ryan.
Yeah, and then did some bonding with your cousin. And then first thing in the morning, we woke up and we just kind of jumped in his car and
started taking mushrooms and hit the road.
And he had all the camping gear, and we just kind of drove into Washington State, and we went deep. Like, we went deep into...
It was pretty crazy.
Yeah. I'd never been to that part of kind of America, the Northwest, I guess, and it's stunning. It's so beautiful. And he took us on all these kind of back roads, and
I mean, we drove for hours.
Yeah.
And then we found like the craziest waterfall, swimming hole, camping site I've ever seen in my life. And we just did mushrooms, and we talked. I think we talked about my dad some more, and kind of asked him about meeting him, and tried to get a little more information. And he kept saying he wore gold chains and looked like a drug dealer or something.
Yeah. So I guess, to our listeners, Travis, who's Brayden's cousin, who's about 10 years older than him, he met Carlos, Brayden's father.
And it's my mom's sister's kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember him with looking like Miami Vice-ish, like bright colors, gold chain, just like that, almost like that picture where he's, you know what I'm talking about? I just brought it up.
I have one photo.
Yeah, that one where he's just kind of like got his arm around her. He's got like a turquoise shirt on.
Yeah, that's the only photo I have.
Okay. Yeah, that's how I remember him looking like that.
That's how that's how my mom remembers him, and she you can ask Mikey she's like, what is he? She's still in love with him. Jesus, it's crazy.
That doesn't make sense. I don't get it.
I don't know. Like when I tell her,
no way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, he was the love of my life. I don't understand what happened. Like, I just wish he would talk to me. And I'm like, get over it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a visual I have of him. I mean, I can remember the table, actually, that we're sitting at. Long table. He was up against the wall. Carlos, Barb, I was right across, and my parents.
Did they fight a lot?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, not at dinner. I remember him quiet. I don't really remember much other than just a visual.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have you draw it for us on mushrooms when we're camping.
I'll do that. I need some bright colors.
So what's interesting about that is, my aunt and uncle, his parents probably remember more than he does because he was a kid. So our next trip is going to be in about, I think, 10 days, and we're going to go to my aunt and uncle's house for Thanksgiving, an early Thanksgiving, to try and talk to them. I know my aunt's a little skeptical because she doesn't want to create any rifts with my mom. But after talking to my mom and talking to Travis, I think it'll be okay to talk to them. And if she doesn't want to talk, that's fine, but we could get my uncle at least. Or we'll have to maybe not have a camera and just record audio.
Yeah. Your mom has how many brothers and sisters? I think she's got 5.
I don't know.
5 or 6. It's quite a big family.
Yeah, most of them are dead.
Yeah, there's some
drug.
We won't even get into that, but yeah,
alcohol. Yeah,
crazy.
So kind of my aunts. That's kind of the last people left on my mom's side of the family. So,
yeah, so that'll be the last.
So I think it's important because we can't talk to anyone else.
Yeah. So she lives in Palm Springs.
They just moved from our hometown out there to kind of retire, and they still live with my uncle's mom, who's 93 or 94. So they live with her out there.
Okay, and so We're going to go to the desert and interview them, and they'll be the last people from Brayden's family that we'll talk to before we start going back down to Florida to figure out how we're going to approach Carlos.
If he's still there.
Well, so I should say on this next trip, we are going to the desert together, and then Brayden's taking off and going to visit his fiance's parents for Thanksgiving, and I'm actually going to fly to Miami and have Thanksgiving there, and then I'm going to go try find Brayden's father again.
And make sure he's still there,
I haven't checked in with him for about 5 months, so who knows?
I mean, this is also, we should say, we don't really have proof that this is technically my father.
We've been thinking...
We only have visual evidence, which makes sense, and everything checks out, but...
We don't have any DNA proof. Like, it's not like I've stolen a hair off his head and got it tested. And
I don't even think you can do that.
No, you legally
like the FBI.
You can't. Yeah, it's like illegal, especially in, I think, Florida and New York is both illegal to do that.
Well, either way, we'll see if he's there, and then...
I don't know what I'm
I think we should do a little more... I want to do a little more research on his family and see... I don't know if he has any other... I mean, I don't know. I assumed he'd always have kids, but I guess from what we've learned, he doesn't.
Yeah, I don't think so. Back to our trip in Seattle.
So it was kind of, since my mom wasn't there, it was a bit slow at first, but it was good. I got to hang out with my cousin and kind of talk to him more about his insight in our childhood. We were very close.
He also had a lot of archival...
he had a ton of archival footage.
Footage of you guys together.
Which is so weird to see, like, my family. Because when you're a kid, you don't realize... like a Christmas party, and then you watch the footage, like they're all just getting fucked up, and as a kid you think they're just like responsible adults, but they're really just like partying, and you're like, you know, the height of their knees, you can't see anything.
He said there was a lot of cocaine going around.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of your cousins, and there's a lot of people who have died.
Almost all of them.
Yeah, it's quite crazy. When we were going through all the photos, he was like, oh, that person's died from a drug overdose. That person's a crackhead. That person's died from alcohol. I couldn't believe it.
Good genes.
Oh, fuck. I shouldn't even be laughing. We went camping together. We found this beautiful spot. It was like a little oasis. And Brayden and his cousin bonded. We shared stories about, whatever memories he had of Brayden's father.
And we talked for a long time at that picnic table. I was so high on mushrooms, I don't remember exactly what about. But it'll be in the documentary.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
Do you remember?
It was a little blurry.
I don't know what do we even talk about. I don't remember.
You guys just talked about your childhood. It was, you just shared stories about that. You also called your mom pretty high on mushrooms when she was in Disney World.
Oh shit!
And
I don't remember that at all. I remember I was really nice to her.
Yeah, you were nice to her. Thank God.
Oh shit!
But, so
maybe we should watch that later.
Yeah. Randomly, we're on this fucking beautiful camping trip, and a friend of mine plays in a band. He plays in Tame Impala. They were playing at the Gorge, which is this beautiful
Travis's
venue.
daughter was going.
Yeah.
She's obsessed, and I don't know one Tame Impala song.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, this is just gonna be like a chill concert, and it was literally. I mean, I had a full-on mental breakdown. Like, you had to wait in line in a car for hours just to get to the parking lot. And then sit in the parking lot for hours, and then be herded into miles. I swear to God, probably a mile under bridges, down dirt roads to get to the venue, and then you get in and you can't move. I mean, it's like if you have anxiety, it's like probably the worst place on earth you could be. And then the show was really cool, but like,
and the venue's beautiful.
Yeah, but going through all that to see a show, it kind of takes away. Like, I don't know. I would never want to do that again unless like. I had some sort of special entrance. I mean, like, I just mentally...
I mean, mind you, we all haven't
it.
gone to a show in a very long time
It
anyway.
was crazy.
And that I haven't gone to a show like that
most...
size in an extreme
And then we
long
lost
time.
the car for about 6 hours trying to get back. I mean, we couldn't find the car. And we lost Travis. We got into a big fight. We're high on mushrooms. Then I turn around and Mikey's making out with some girl, and it happens to be his like girlfriend that they randomly ran into each other. Like, oh my God, it was crazy.
That's a whole other story.
And then I cooked dinner for some random people in the parking lot. Yeah. And I told them to watch the movie if it ever comes out. So if they're listening, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then we wake up really early because Travis is like, gotta get out of here. And then we leave.
Yeah.
And drive home so hungover.
Yeah, it was
a lot.
It was a lot.
I still feel like I'm recovering.
Yeah. That happened, and then you left because...
And then I had to leave to get home.
Yeah. So I decided to stay in Seattle by myself because Brayden had to go back to New York to do a job. And I stayed for an extra week because I knew his mum was returning to Seattle. And then I
kind of had to call it to kind of smooth it over.
Mikey's going to stay a few extra days because he's coming with me again. Well, we both wanted to know, even though I'm not there, if he could ask you a few questions, like just about, I don't know if you have like old photos we could go through or anything like that.
How long is he going to be here for?
So I have to leave Sunday because I work Monday and Tuesday, but he'll probably stay till like Thursday. So
okay.
Friday. So I don't know if there's like an hour or two or whenever, like he could drive over or.
Yeah, that'd be fine. I mean, I get home Monday night and I work from home all week, so I can make arrangements.
Cool. Okay. That would be cool.
So you said he met him? He saw him?
So he saw him, but I don't know. You guys can talk about it. I haven't met him. But
okay.
But I don't know. It's really interesting.
It's very interesting. I'd be curious to talk with him, see what he saw him. I mean, God, just so weird. It's been so long.
Yeah.
I used to send him letters like once, twice a year. Even when we went to Hawaii that one time, I sent stuff, and I used to do it quite often. And I just just stopped doing it.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. All right. I love you.
Bye.
All right. Bye, honey.
She's like didn't want to be on camera pretty much, like talking about anything. And so I was like, no, he just, I just need you to like do this for me. And
I just wanted to like be more transparent with her and kind of dust off any issues we might have had. I just didn't want her to think I was trying to frame her a certain way. I wanted to be very honest with her.
Yeah.
And ask her, why do you think Brayden's making this film about
What'd
finding
she say?
his father?
Because I haven't watched the footage.
I just said, why do you think he's... And she said, I don't know, maybe he's just curious. And I said, it's more to use the film as a way to kind of deal with trauma and nearly hide behind a camera or make it more creative process rather than a traumatic process.
I mean, and it's still hard. Like, I always tell Olson, like, who's my fiance, I'm like, I don't want to fucking do this. Why does Mikey want to do this? This is pointless. So then she thinks I like don't want to do it, but really it's like, no, I'm just like venting. Like,
yeah, I'm the same.
It's like, yeah, I don't want to fucking do this, but like we want to make a documentary and this is the best subject we have right now. And I've always wanted to do it, but it's like jumping off a cliff. You don't want to do it, but it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think we go through this process where we're like, what have we started? Like, this just feels like it's never ending. We're both losing sleep over it.
The biggest problem is like, after we've exhausted talking to my family, now we have to make a decision is, do we go and approach Carlos? And is that the end of the documentary? Or do we go and try and find more of his family in Brazil? Do I go on a trip with him to Brazil? Do I what happens? Does he just completely deny it? And then and then what do we do?
And I mean, he has denied it so far on camera.
He's gonna keep denying it.
He's told me that he has no kids.
That's what life is about. It's not about marriage. I never got married, never had kids. We travel all over the world. We're the true backpackers.
You've never had kids?
No kids. I don't have time. Life is too short. 100 years is not enough for me to have kids. I need time for myself.
So that's what we have to figure out is if he denies it, that can't be the end of the documentary.
Well, then we either get really investigative on him.
How much more investigative can we get?
But I honestly, just from meeting him a few times now and talking to him, and you and him are so similar.
I think I'm going to have to approach him because I think if you approach him, he'll disappear.
I would like to get it to a point where I'm hanging out with him outside of his workplace.
When we go back down, we should just hang out at the bar under his house.
Yeah. I mean, I've drunk at that bar. Yeah.
That's kind of what happened in Seattle. You got a really good interview with my mom, though.
Yeah. So I basically called her. We started speaking on the phone together. Mind you, we hadn't spoken since March, and this was in end of September when I was in Seattle last time. So, it'd been a while since we'd seen each other. And the first time I went to Seattle, that was a very traumatic trip. It was crazy. You guys basically had this conversation that you've never had, and very heated and beautiful and sad and happy and all sorts of emotions. So then we met in this parking lot, and I'd already told her that I was going to film the interview, and I found a spot on the hill, and we sat down together, and I said, why do you think Brayden's making this documentary? And, she answered that question, and then we just recapped. I just said, I'm not trying to frame you a certain way.
Did she say anything like what she wants me to do? Does she want me to meet him? I mean,
she would love you to meet him.
What did she ask?
I think she spent her whole life trying to get you to meet him.
And you told me something about letters.
Well, hang on, no. She spent her whole life trying to get him to meet you.
Mm-hmm.
So she's sent photos of you throughout, like at different stages of your life. So I think she sent a lot when she had you. Then she got scared that for some reason his family might steal you and take you to Brazil and she'd never see you again. So I think
that would have been awesome.
So then she didn't send any photos for probably 5 years or so, and then started sending photos again.
And she sent it to the address where he pretty much said that that we kind of got confirmation that he does live at.
Yeah, she had 2 addresses. I mean, there is.
Can you imagine getting those letters if you weren't the father?
Oh my god! But then there is also the possibility that he didn't ever get any letters, and he doesn't know that you are born or exist. There is that possibility. We can't rule it out. But from speaking with her multiple times now, it sounds like that's not the case. He has an idea that he has a son.
Maybe we should give him a photo of me now and says, "This is your son, Brayden."
So she said she sent a photo to him.
Where's she getting photos of me
Did
from?
you guys go on a holiday to Hawaii?
Yeah.
Okay, she said
years ago. That could be a whole podcast.
Well, so that's the last time she sent photos of you and her together to Carlos was on that trip.
This is why I don't let her take photos. Like, she always wants to take photos of me, and I'm like...
So, yeah, so when was that? 5 years ago? 6 years ago?
Yeah.
So he knows what you look like. If he's received that mail, then he
so
knows
weird
what
she
you
would
look
keep
like now.
sending photos.
I don't know.
That's some crazy trauma in her head, that she feels the need to keep doing that for 35 years. She
was like, oh, you'd be so proud of him. He lives in New York, and he's a photographer, and he's done well. And
IRS is ready to take it all. You shouldn't leave these mics here.
Yeah. Fuck, I don't want them to come in. I guess he has seen photos of you throughout the years growing up. If he's received that mail, there is the possibility that he never received it, or she had the wrong address or whatever.
Totally.
So if you were to go see him,
well, yeah,
I'm assuming he would recognize you. That's what I'm saying. Like, you could pretend that if he's never seen you since you were born.
I just have this deep fear that I don't want him to like reject me. How awkward would that be to be like, "Hey, you're my dad," and like, "No, I'm not." And then what do you say? Like I don't really care. I guess we sort of acted this out on stage a bit.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that would be a horrible feeling. I'm sure. Like, very traumatic.
Not even traumatic. Just like, dude, I don't even care if you think I'm just telling you. But that I don't want it to end like that. I want it to be a little more romantic.
I don't think
I want it to be like, look, I don't care that you're my dad. I don't care if you think it or not, but the fact is you are, and I don't want anything from you. You just be, if you want to keep in touch, we can keep in touch.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say that I am interested in is getting his medical history, because whenever I go to the doctor, they're like, "Does your family have any history?" I'm like, I don't know if we're like at high risk for shit. That's like one thing actually that I would like to meet.
I mean,
it doesn't seem like he's been to the doctor yet.
He says sage cures everything,
which is true.
So he's always burning sage.
I have some over here. There's some right there.
Oh, you do too. Shit. I don't know. You guys have a very similar energy, so I think if you guys were to meet, I don't think he would do that. But
if he did, we have to do it how he denied you guys access at first, and you just kind of hung around until he let you in.
Yeah, he did deny us initially.
I think we need to get him out at like make him feel like he's a part of like a movie or a documentary and like about crystals or something, and take him to like a crystal show and like get like more one-on-one with him.
Yeah, I mean, there is
or like a cooking show here, or like
no, he told me he goes to a gem fair every year in Arizona.
Like we need to get him. We need to get some serious one-on-one time with him somehow.
I mean, you need to meet him first.
I guess I don't know. I'm like shaking thinking about it right now. And whatever, this is, we'll just see where it goes.
Yeah. Because I guess at this point of the documentary, we have as much information from your mother's side as we can get. Like,
there's nothing really much left to do besides approach him.
I guess we
think is him.
Yeah, we know the story.
What if this turned out and it wasn't him? With some crazy coincidence.
Yeah.
But it just like looked like him.
Yeah, so that's the thing. We don't have DNA proof that it's your actual father. All the kind of
how do you get DNA
aligned?
Proof? Are you sure it's illegal? If you like grabbed a cup that he had and you went and tested that DNA and compared it to yours, I mean that's not illegal.
It is. I looked it up.
You did?
I did because I had dinner with some people and they're like, we've been following your journey together, you and Brayden, and It's really interesting.
I don't see how that could be illegal by just testing a discarded cup for
If
DNA.
I took a strand of his hair and I got...
You don't have to take it. You could just pick it up off the ground.
It's still... It's illegal to test it.
Really?
Mm-hmm. In New York and Florida. It's 8 states in America that it's illegal.
It seems a bit odd.
Just happens to be the 2 states we kind of been operating out of. They don't let us do it.
What if we illegally obtained some of his saliva and sent it into 23andMe and then compared it to mine? How would we get his spit? We could hog tie him. We could kidnap him, knock him out, and then get some spit out of his mouth.
Wow.
What if me and him went to jail together?
And then you hog tie him?
No, I don't know. Maybe that's how we get in the...
That's how you go to
resolve
jail.
some stuff.
We could rent like a jail and we just arrest him for counterfeiting.
I think we go to his bar and I go, hey, can I buy you a beer, Dad? And then see what he does. Hey, Pop, what are you drinking? Maybe that's good. Maybe I should just go offer him to buy him a beer. What if he stabbed me though?
No, you wouldn't. I think if you were to both look each other in the eyes, you'll know exactly who you both like. It's just,
I don't want anything from him.
I know that.
Just it'd be cool to go down to Florida every once in a while and have a beer.
Yeah. He also said he might move to Mexico, so I might go back down to Florida and find that he's
gone.
Now lives in Mexico. So who knows? I guess I'll know.
I think it'd be important to talk to his wife, his girlfriend of 35 years too.
Yeah.
But I don't know how we go about that. Do we approach her first and say, look, he has a son. We really want to talk to you.
That's an idea.
We can discuss that later.
It's from what your mum told me, it sounds like he met that woman in Hawaii straight after your mum.
And I have her name in some folder that I found. So I want to say it's Rose or something like that.
We never knew if this was like a one-night stand with your...
Well, now that I know that they were engaged, it wasn't.
Yeah.
So...
And then I think...
Because I always thought maybe it was. I didn't know they were that serious.
I said, how long were you guys together before you got engaged? And she said 1 year. So it wasn't like they were together for an extremely long time.
That's longer than most people.
Yeah.
Especially you.
Okay.
I mean, usually date a woman for about
Okay, if my girlfriend's
hour to 12 hours before you
I don't know.
break up with her.
That's not true. It's because this documentary's giving me so much trauma. I'm always on the road.
You want to try this pill?
Chasing your father.
So I think that's about it. That's all we really have right now. But we are going to California in 10 days.
Yeah, next trip's to California, interviewing your auntie and uncle. They're the last
some cool desert shots.
They're the last people in your family that we'll talk to before heading back to Florida to
check in, and then we'll go back and
check in with Carlos. And then we'll figure out on the next trip, I think, if you want to meet him or not.
Maybe we get some input from people that are listening of what they think we should do. That could be interesting.
That's a really good idea, actually. Yeah. We could ask the listeners how you think Brayden should meet his father.
Or like what should we do next?
Yeah. Because at this point, I've been posing as a journalist nearly.
For a beauty blog.
Yeah, that's interested in crystals. And I film Carlos under the guise that he thinks I'm super into crystals.
Do you still have the crystal he gave you?
I do.
And you need to wear it when you go.
No, man, every time I go, if I'm not wearing that crystal, he's like, "Where's your crystal?"
Yeah, you're fucked.
And I make sure I keep it in my pocket, and I'll be like, "Oh, I took it off this morning."
No, you need to wear it on. You need to put it on.
Yeah. He said crystals should always be touching his skin.
They should.
Yeah. So I'll have my crystal on next time I go to Miami, which will be soon. Yeah, maybe we could ask the listeners, how do you think Brayden should meet his father?
Well, we have an email. It's findingcarlos@gmail.com. So if you have any suggestions, email us, findingcarlos@gmail.com.
Okay.
Why not? Fuck it.
Yeah. Let's get creative with it. I guess we've already got the jail and the hog tie idea out there, so let's throw a few more crazy ones out there.
Okay, cool. Well, that's it.
Yeah.
I gotta go fill the hot tub up. The hose was frozen, so.
Oh, no.
But the sun's come out.
Yeah,
I have a wood-fired hot tub, and it's a real piece of shit, and it takes about 12 hours to heat up. But I think I can get it done in like 7 if I kind of stick at it.
Yeah, I mean, aesthetically, it looks cool. It's like it makes you want to move to the woods and kind of live upstate, but it's the most impractical piece of shit designed thing.
Yeah, it's like everything else. I really I can't keep talking. Okay, fuck.
Okay,
I gotta go take my anxiety medication.
Okay.
All
right. Thanks,
Bye.
guys.
Bye.
Signing off. Until next time.